crazy.
I'm telling you, I'm just, every day I'm blown away, and I'm like, we do these shows, and it's a lot to digest, and I want to do it in segments, and I hope you don't mind if you know, to be continued, for sure. You know, I can't even, you know, it's just, it's amazing to me that we've gotten this far into this agenda. And it's like, in 2015, David, when we were reporting on this, I really, really believed that we were going to permeate at least some part of the, you know, the masses to where it would never, ever have even come to this point. And it's like, I can't even sugarcoat the agenda anymore. And people, you know, they want to label me as a conspiracy theorist, and I get, you would not believe it, what I get online, or what people think, you know. But
I think people that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, and I originally started this whole thing because of my son, but you know, it became a global mission for the children. You know, I decided that if I was going to go public, I was going to go public for all children worldwide, and I can't believe that I'm in 2020, and I'm on my podcast with you right now. And the people
bumping our heads on this madness,
still not getting me. And I'm telling you, I have tried in every single way, every single format, to really present. You know, it's really a cruel reality, and I don't think it's one that is going to bring us into the future. And I don't think that it's one that anyone that's tuning into this show would want for the future generations or for themselves. And I hugely encourage everybody, you know, share the content. People still are very fearful, you know, of the message. And I understand. However, you know, look what has progressed. Look where we are, the direction we are going at this moment. Have you how can we serve our communities better? How can we become a voice in our communities better so that we can inform the layman, everyday person of this agenda?
First vote, because once you get the high ground, it's easier to snipe the willing. I mean, I'm saying that because we're genuinely fighting a war. Like, this is not a joke. Like, I'm saying those words, I'm using that phraseology, but like, all jokes aside, like we're really at war with like a really old enemy too, which is really weird. Which is the really strange part, is like we're at war with a really old enemy. It's not a new one. But even with that being said and done, it becomes a sort of strange situation where, you know, all jokes aside, we have to, let me say this. The closer we get to January the 22nd, see, everybody's all emotional about,
I mean, I'm like, how can
actually not even January 22nd. Let me tell you something. The closer we get to St. Valentine's Day next year, the crescendo of the bloodbath starts then. We're just going to see little pinpricks. We'll go from pinpricks to knife jabs. We'll go from knife jabs to slicing. We'll go from knife jabs to stabbings. From stabbings to eventually the guillotine. And that's a real thing. Like, that's where we're headed right now in regards to how the political situation is going to be rectified. But under no circumstances should we get black and not think it's going in that direction, because ultimately we have to, this is answering your question, ultimately we have a responsibility to just kind of wait for our neighbors to catch up. we're waiting for our neighbors to catch up. We're waiting for them to like finally see how bad it really is and look at us dead in the face and say, you know what, my bad. What do we need to do here? Sorry about that. You know what I mean? Like, that's where we're at now, is that we're at that point where we need to just wait for people to realize how bad the situation really is. And then once they realize that, they're going to go, okay, you know what? You're right. We need to, they're going to want to know. They're going to be asking you, hey, what do I do now? I don't understand what's going on. Like, this is pretty bad. You know, oh no, this is not cool. Yada, yada, yada. So, you know, it's a really difficult situation. It's a really difficult situation. But our job is to just be well informed. Don't spread rumors. Don't spread lies. Do your own research. You know, or you'll make baby Jesus cry. Seriously. Like, no joke. Like have your facts together. Don't just run. Look, this is not about arguing. Listen. I'm going to be very clear about this. You're going to have some people who are going to be on fire, begging you to put them out. And when you tell them this water will help you put the fire out, they're going to attack you and say you're a liar. That's how serious this situation is. Like, that's how bad the brainwashing is. That is literally how bad the brainwashing is, where the brainwashing is so bad that these people actually believe that while you're telling them what's going on, you're lying to them. That's how far gone people really are. And you're looking at me like, no, that's crazy. People aren't that crazy. Yes, they are. On every level. Like, you can tell yourself that's not what's going on, but I'm telling you right now, people are really that far gone. And any attempt to try and, you know, bring them in with logic and sincerity is a waste of time. The only people you should be worried about having that conversation with are people who want to have it.
I'm
sorry, what's that?
Informative podcast, and I don't for 1 second believe that it's been a waste of time at all. I am so thankful for you, David. I mean,
I'm thankful for you too. Like, you know.
Yeah, and I don't believe that. I have a very intelligent listener and following of individuals that are just really incredible people, and I'm very blessed. And, you know, I don't believe that. I just simply don't.
Well, I mean, there's going to be an attrition rate. There's going to be people who want to do the right thing, but there's some people who, again, there's people who are based on the kind of people I ran into from the West when I was in Vietnam. I can tell you right now, there's people who are there's people who at some point in time, given a bad situation, would argue with you about the best sauce to put on a baby. Per pre-cannibalism, like rather than lose the argument that it's wrong. And I know that sounds a little convoluted, but what I'm saying is that these people would, rather than you tell them something that rattles them to their core, they will stick to the conviction of wanting to be right. I got to the point where I have to tell people, I'm from America. My country is better than yours. My country gives your country welfare. Shut up. Like, I had to tell people that. I never said that to Vietnamese people because, you know, they were good people. They were pretty humble. You know what I mean? And I was in their house, and they were being very, very kind to me. But, I mean, the majority of everybody else from every other country, I had to pretty much look them in the face and be like, your country's poor. We give your country food. Shut up. We give your country money. Your government doesn't help you. You know what I mean? Like, don't talk about my country. You can go starve under the arms of the Queen if you want. You know, but don't disrespect my country. We feed you. You're our pets, okay? Shut up. And some people might say that's a really rude thing to say. It's like, no, because these people will sit there. Listen, I even had people try to argue with me about that sleeping with a 14 or a 16-year-old girl was okay. And I was like, excuse me? I can't tell you how many. I can't tell you how many grown men I had to slap when I was over there. punch, slap. Like, you like being touched? Anyway, moving along. The main thing is that I only say that to you to say that we're going to see people who are going to argue with you for the power and the right to try and argue over whether or not doing things that are against nature and humanity are okay. That's how far gone they are. And that's what I mean when I say, no, these people are too far gone. They're too far gone. They're so far gone. They're so far gone that nature itself will have to correct them. Circumstance itself will have to correct them. And, we do have worse things coming down the pipeline than Corona. Trust me. We got some real messed up stuff coming.
Yeah.
That's another conversation. Anyway, at this point, I'm just blowing hot air.
I'm
sorry, what was that?
I know there's more things that we need to be aware of and educated on, and I just want to say, you're so brave. Thank you for serving our country, and thank you so much, David, for being my friend, and not only that, always coming on the show, always.
Again, I don't get paid to do this.
I wish
Hilarious.
I wish I was in that position. I really do.
It's a segue. It's a segue to commentary. It's probably for the best. It's a segue for commentary. You know what I mean? At a later date.
All right. Well, listen, I am going to go ahead and conclude this episode of Porthole to Justice, the window to the truth. And is there anything else you want to say? Anything else you'd like?
Eat oranges, man. Eat oranges, man. Eat oranges. Stop being lazy. Peel that dang on thing. Eat oranges, man. I mean it. Eat oranges.
All right. It's been a great night. I have to turn in for the evening. Everyone, my listeners, thank you so much for tuning in, and I encourage you to tune in to 20 on 20 Prayer Show with myself and Jacqueline Conrad, and also to the Zeph Report for 20 on 20. The global news report that he hosts and panel is absolutely amazing and even more informative than my podcast. So I thank you so much for being loyal listeners. Please subscribe to my Patreon channel, and I will be back. I'm planning to do another podcast. I'm trying to think of what my next podcast is. I'm supposed to be hosting a show with a woman who was basically here in America, on American soil, forced to serve in a slave labor camp by a juvenile judge and CPS, Child Protective Services. And I'm currently investigating this case. It's an ongoing investigation, and I'm hoping to premiere that podcast this month on the show. So stay tuned for that, and thank you so much for tuning in with me. This has been another episode of Porthole to Justice, Off the Cuff. I am your host, Amelia Duran, and I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Have a great night, everyone. God bless.